Hello everyone, and welcome to a game of World of Warships. Today's replay is from Tanega, and I'm terribly sorry for mispronouncing it. Now he's in the Jean Bart at tier 9, French premium battleship. He's on the Tears of the Desert, and well, it's an epicenter game. So a tier 10 battle, there is a tier 8 carrier, and there isn't a single destroyer. Interesting. Now, the enemy team is capping the center with a Minotaur, and well, if the Minotaur is smoking up, which is what he is likely doing here, there is not much the friendlies can do. I mean, it looks like the carrier is around, but other than blind drop, what's he going to do? There's no friendly radar in position. Well, the last guy is way too far away. So the Minotaur left though, and now the friendly Edinburgh is doing the exact same thing. So, you know, there is that. Now, our Jean Bart here is on the right flank. It's basically where he spawned and where he decided to stay, which is a good choice. There's quite a large friendly force here, not so many ships in the north, but that's basically true for both teams. Well, that's a broadside Jean Bart. But the island indicator here tells us that the shells are probably not making it off this island, so he's going for a Sau instead. Why not? And very nice salvo there, with a friendly Bismarck coming in with Hydro. The problem is that there are a lot of enemy ships there, right? In a situation like this, pushing is pretty hard. Well, first of all, if you push yourself, there is no guarantee that your team is following up. And like, if you push an enemy force, most likely every enemy ship there will target you. Not because they know that focus fire is important, but simply their instinct, right? You basically, if you push ahead, you're making the enemy focus fire on accident. And nobody can survive the focus fire of like 6-7 ships for a very long time. So oftentimes if you have two blobs facing each other, you first have to whittle down the enemy forces. Well, you need to... I mean, they are technically all at the same space, but if they are like splitting up around those islands, then maybe you can have a situation where you can push in. So right now it's just being patient and pew-pewing a little bit. Like, he could go high explosive here. Jean Bart has some very useful high explosive. Try to burn down the enemy Jean Bart. Then again, right now he sees an Atago that's potentially broadside. He's going for a reload booster here, and maybe he can abuse that Atago a bit. The problem, of course, is this island is only barely allowing him to lob his shells above it, and the way the Atago is sailing, he might be getting into cover. I'm not actually sure if he was targeting the Atago here or the Jean Bart. Keep in mind that it's... on a replay, you don't always see who the person has selected. Anyway. Well, we have a tier... the tier prince is done for. So he didn't get an awful lot of this reload boost, but that's what frequently happens. You see a potential opportunity, so you hope you can get some use out of it, and then unfortunately doesn't work like that. Now, Atago again, broadside again. Well, let's see what we can do this time. Okay. Could have been better, could have been worse. So it looks like right now our Jean Bart is considering actually pushing here. Now it's pretty equal team-wise, but the enemy team is running ahead on points because they control the center. And, well, the only one who tried to contest on the friendly side was the Edinburgh. Now, I mean, the island there in the center is quite nice cover, but there is a carrier that could just hound you there. And the friendlies are missing something that's sneaky enough to just go... Well, just realized we have two Venetians there. And I'm not sure what they are doing.
Boost des moteurs désactivé.
I mean, that's some very weird positioning. It's not like Venetians to benefit that much from like trying to create a crossfire from this area. Like, they'd be much more helpful, I feel like, if they were. And keep in mind, they do have smoke, so there is no destroyer that's getting close and spotting them. Yeah, well anyway. Our Jean Bart here is deciding it might just be time for a push. There is an enemy Jean Bart rather low, but there is the Alaska, the Atago, and the Sao still around. And Sao and Atago both have torpedoes, so now the enemy Jean Bart just took quite a decent hit. And, well, the Atago is broadside, so there is... he tried that 2 times already, it didn't work so far. Let's see this time, and reload posts are engaged. That was a lovely devastating strike. That the Jean Bart is dead, the Sao is trying to get away, so this push seems to be working quite lovely. The Sao thankfully was slowing down there, but unfortunately the shell still missed. Oh well, I mean that just leaves the Alaska here to deal with. And it looks like the friendlies are actually getting the outer circle, which is low. Also, meanwhile, we have the Kremlin here pushing in on the left side, and it looks like the Kremlin rammed the Jean Bart. Overall, it looks like the friendlies are making a nice comeback with a lovely push here. Oh yeah, so the friendly team just got hit pretty hard. The enemy team just got hit pretty hard. Now there are 2 enemy battleships remaining that seem to be way too far in the back. There is obviously the carrier still somewhere, and then there are 2 Minotaurs. Now of course the Minotaurs, if they're sitting in smoke, they might just have no spotting, because it looks like the enemy battleships are very far in the back. Now it looks like our Jean Bart is careful here. I think at this point he can just go in there a little bit more. I mean, maybe he's waiting for his reinforcements to arrive. What's that one Venezia doing? Right? Like seriously, the other Venezia is on his way back here, but I don't know. Now we have a Des Moines here who is raiding the Minotaur, it looks like, and yeah, that Minotaur is getting eaten there. Guns are almost reloaded. I mean, it's a Minotaur, right? You can basically just overmatch most of it. So, Montana and Musashi and the Minotaur left. Where is... Oh, full health Musashi in the back line. Why is nobody surprised? Now, unfortunately, he's broadside to that Musashi, but, you know, he survived that salvo. He's in concealment again. Is he going to... I know he's going to hold his shots. I mean, he wants to go this way, which means he's currently broadside to the Musashi. I guess he could just turn north here. But for now, I mean, the friendlies are taking the center. They've almost caught up on points. This is looking pretty much like a win right now. Now what, let's speed this up while he is getting into position. To maybe end this whole game in one explosive brawl. Yeah, got some shots there on the Musashi, but not really a hit there. And let's give him back control of the camera there. And slow it down again. Now he's going in for a quick hug with the friendly Alaskan. And there comes the Montana. Gun's not even pointing this way, fully broadside. I mean, not that the broadside mattered that much with how little health he had, but, you know, still. Okay, so that leaves Minotaur and Musashi and Lexington remaining. And he's got high explosive loaded right now. As I've mentioned earlier, high explosive is pretty strong in the Jean Bart, but I think there is
Concentrez le tir sur la
I think
cible
there is enough
désignée.
broadside here from the Musashi to go for armor piercing. Also, I mean a Minotaur. You always want to shoot the Minotaur with armor piercing. I assume that he hasn't realized he has high explosive loaded here because there is really no point in doing it. Unless he's shooting an angled Musashi.
La victoire est à notre portée.
Reload booster is almost ready too. I mean, considering he is high explosive loaded, I would fire that one salvo at the Musashi and then switch to armor piercing, I think. He's still at high explosive. I mean, that must be... yeah, there is the armor piercing. Now we will probably see what armor piercing does to a Minotaur. Why is it going... like, I mean, the Musashi obviously has the legendary pretty weak cheeks, but he is angry and he's going for the Minotaur.
La victoire est à notre portée. La bataille se termine dans 5 minutes.
And it's a Kraken. Now at this point he could just ram the Musashi because why not? If you wanted to... I mean, Musashi can overmatch your nose, so there is... it's a problem. If you're in a situation like this and you don't want to go for the ram, you can try to reverse and burn him. Or you can try to sail past and citadel him. But at this point, you know, he wants the ram, he's just going for it and he's farming the carrier meanwhile with his guns. Which is a very good use of his guns, even as the reload going. Why is he not... oh, there is the Lexington. And now let's go for the ram. Let's go for 7 kills. And here we are with the results. Tanaka earned himself 2,972 base experience. And well, pretty lovely done by him. He achieved a devastating strike, a Confederate, a double strike there in the end, and a Kraken sinking 7 enemy ships and doing a bit over 200,000 points of damage. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching this, and I'll see you guys next time.